Thank you, Mrs. Romero, for that video again. At least we have a clear understanding of what really
Mr. Chair.
happened during
Mr.
the
Chair.
unfortunate day.
Just to add, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to add context, no, medyo ngayon kinikilabutan pa rin ako, and I've seen this video before and watching it again. Sakit sa sigmura. Our heart goes to prayers po, Ma'am Olivia. Okay, rest assured of our full support. Just to add context, Mr. Chair, Tito Eddie is the most professional actor I've ever met. Nagkasama kami sa dalawang projects, and he's the type of actor who will not say no basta sabihin ng director. He arrives on the set early, and he doesn't eat until everybody eats. His costumes are always prepared. Alam niya yung continuity niya, tapos alam niya yung linya niya no matter anong edad niya. And he's the type of actor na talagang iituluhin ng mga kapwa niya artista kasama na tong representasyon na ito. And what our good friend, Mr. Seguerra was saying kanina is that we love our craft very much. At pagkasabihan kami ng director kung ano yung requirement ng role, gagawin namin. And that is what we saw here in this video. Ang isang Eddie Garcia, gagawin niya lahat para lang magkaroon ng magandang pelikula, magandang TV show. But to be fair, ako, in my personal experience, working with different networks, with GMA7 and ABS, I've injured myself so many times in fight scenes, in underwater. Minsan nakagat na yung buong katawan ko ng mga jellyfish when we were shooting Jezebel. Wala naman akong experience. I'm lucky because wala naman akong experience na hindi ako nabigyan ng medical attention. And that's why it's so excruciatingly painful to see this kind of thing happen. And therefore, we need it to be institutionalized. We need the safety measures to be institutionalized, and all kinds of protections for all talents, actors, directors, bid players, and everybody in the production. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So as you're saying, Congressman Vargas, in all the time that you were performing your job as a talent, I'm sure you have witnessed and experienced a lot of this incident, accidents, and doon pa sa mga nakita niyo po paano po tayo nag-respond? I mean, yung producer or yung network, insofar as there is that kind of injury, meron ba silang mga medical personnel that looks after the welfare of the actors and everybody?
Mr. Chair, in my own personal experience, napilayan na ako sa sword fight, napilayan na rin ako ng tuhod, muntik na ako malunod, I almost drowned, tapos na akong jellyfish. Lahat nun sa akin, in my own personal experience lang, I was given medical attention that time. Kaya this is very surprising.
By professional?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Meron pong nag-attend sa akin doon na at least man lang merong medical knowledge, merong knowledge about first aid.
They were part of the contingency during the filming and the shooting?
I believe so, Mr. Chair.
So sa lahat po
Kasi
naman,
meron nando doon Oo.
Pero this medical personnel, without prejudice naman to, kahit yung mga big player, kung mayroon mga sugat sa mga extras, tinitignan po nila dito.
That I am not 100% sure, Mr. Chair. I'm only speaking of about my personal experience.
Thank you. May we now proceed to the veteran actor, Mr. Bembol Rocco,
Mr.
for
Chair,
his insight.
meron ako maliksi lang mo na...
Sige po, you have the floor.
Yung sa sinabi ni Mr. Seguerra, sana ang expectation mo namin, magagawa lahat natin ito at sana mabago na ang pananaw ng gobyerno o yung pamahalaan natin na tinitingnan lamang ang industriya bilang isang entertainment or amusement lamang. Sana tingnan din kami bilang partner, bilang isang industriya na partner ng gobyerno sa economic and economic progress, at hindi lang kami titingnan bilang isang entertainment or amusement lamang. So yun lang po, Chair.
Well noted. For your information, Ms. Cortez, Mr. Cortez, everyone here is not really aware of the plight of the people that are involved, the actors, the crew, and whoever that's involved in the production of all these movies and films. We're not aware of the sorry plight of the people that are working in this industry. Lalak pa rin yung mga tao, di ba? I mean, like you said, like what Congressman Vargas said, ito na po yung legacy na binigay po sa atin ni Manoy. Pero dapat hindi na po natin inantay ito. I mean, this thing should have been brought to the attention of this committee even a long time, not even during my time, but maybe 20, 30 years ago. Kasi you all suffered in silence. Nobody wanted to speak out. Maybe, I don't know, baka natatakot kayo if you speak out against your network, against your film company, baka hindi na kayo matanggap ulit sa trabaho. These are just my theory. But nevertheless, like I said, we're here to help the industry and come up with standards that are beneficial for both parties. May we now proceed with the veteran actor, Mr. Bembol Rocco, for his insights.
Thank you, Chair. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, sa lahat ng committee members. Ako po si Bembol Rocco, 45 years na po akong artista. It's a known fact that the film industry, even the television industry, has reaped a lot of awards and gained prominence internationally. Napakarami ng karangalan ang naibigay ng industriya na ito sa bansa natin na dapat nating pinagmamalaki. Lahat ng hirap na dinadanas sa amin dito ay totoo, at wala kaming magawa. Kaya katulad sinabi ni Ice Seguerra, nagpapasalamat kami sa inyo na binibigyan yung importansya ngayon, yung aming kalagayan. Noong pa man, early 80s, sila Lino Broca, sila Ben Cervantes, has been trying to make this thing happen. Pero hindi makakuha ng sapat na suporta sa mga kinauukulan. Kaya hanggang ngayon, ganun pa din ang sitwasyon. Kaya nga napakalaking bagay na bibigyan nyo ngayon ng atensyon at sana nga ikatuparan na yung karapat-dapat lang na gusto namin. Well, hindi naman kami humingi ng hindi sapat sa amin. Fairness lang, di ba? Medyo naabuso kami lahat sa industriya, sa patakaran ng mga networks, ng mga producers na ganun ang sistema na walang working hours. Actually, it's unbelievable. It's crazy to think na meron palang ganung trabaho na walang limit sa oras. Yun lang. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Sana ito ay hindi ko akalain na, well, I'm still hopeful that in my lifetime I see a positive change, di ba? Maging fair naman ang labanan sa trabaho. Ay kung di man sa akin ay sa anak namin at sa mga anak nila. So, maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Mr. Rocco. You know, this industry, this is the least that we can do for you, myself and my other colleagues here. But you have given, you know, a lot of joy to millions and millions of Filipinos for so long a period. And it's only now that we have learned of your sorry life. And rest assured, we will do everything, you know, this committee to pass this bill as soon as possible. Dahil that's the least that we can do for you. Ang dami niyong pinaligayang tao, lahat po kami talagang pagka yung mga pelikula niyo po, no, pinanood ko po yun. So, ito po, hindi po namin talaga nalalaman po ito na yung mababakas po kami. Ngayon lang po nakarating po sa amin to dahil po sa nangyari kay Manoy. Eh, talaga naman po kailangan po magpalabas po tayo ng standards po na talaga pong mapuproteksyon na po lahat ng mga involved po sa industriya ito. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, the Honorable Costello is recognized.
Thank you. With your indulgence po for butting in during this discussion. While I commend the testimonials of Mr. Rocco, Mr. Seguerra, as well as, of course, Congressman Vargas, would just like to know, ano po yung working condition at present? Like, maraming mga TV series and movies that involve dangerous stunts, explosives, pyrotechnics, and the likes, no? Meron po bang naka-standby? Mr. Chairman, may I ask through you kung may producer po dito present, do we have paramedics present o yung mga first aid people from the medical industry, medical practitioners, professionals? Hindi po ba it's about time, Mr. Chairman, from my own personal lang po no insight, hindi ba it's about time if you're a producer and the director, alam mo na merong danger involved in your project, hindi po ba dapat meron silang naka-standby during the shooting, let's say it's a couple of months, dapat po sa bawat eksena, sa bawat araw, ay may naka-standby po na paramedics o na mga medical practitioners who would give first aid. Kasi kanina naisip ko po na I could recall the video, the AWPI presentation of the late Mr. Garcia, ay hindi ho alam ng taong bayan ang gagawin. Naturally, dahil hindi naman ho sila paramedics. Hindi sila marunong magbigay ng first aid. Hindi po ba karapat-dapat at this point we should learn our lesson, no, from that very painful experience, na it's high time that we mandate and we compel all the producers and the directors na maglagay po ng paramedics on standby.
Ma'am, may I answer your question? Sorry.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. Before we recognize you, Mr. Rice, I think our colleague here has something later. Okay, so you have the floor now, Mr. Seguerra.
I think the problem, Representative Costello, ma'am, is we're very reactive. Like, I think if I remember it correctly, before wala talagang standby na paramedic, nangyari lang na nagkaroon na because nangyari yung wawawin stampede. So dun lang po nagkaroon ng medic, dun lang po nagkaroon ng all these things. And I'm sure, and I mean recently I was on TV lang, but walang standby. Kasi kahit naman po hindi merong barilan or whatever, we're bound to get sick because sa init po ng araw, nasa gitna kami tanghali nagtatrabaho. Marami dyan babagsak. Marami po nagkakasakit. So siguro po, it's a very good idea that there is a paramedic. But ma'am, I think it's also very important that, di ba, sa atin po, sa government institutions, dapat at least merong alam sa first aid yung mga tao. Maybe that's also one thing that we should do. Awareness din po sa mga tao within the industry. How important yung meron kang alam at least ng first aid, because all of us there are first responders. There are very small productions, as in very small productions that probably cannot afford to really have a paramedic. That is, that is the standard. But I think importante din po that all of us also know how to react. Kasi what if malayo yung paramedic sa set? At least the producer can say, like, at least marami po kasing tao within the production na at least sana meron din nakatoka doon na maalam. Yun lang po, ma'am. And Mr. Chair, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Seguerra. I don't think we have a film producer that's present here, but maybe we can ask the opinion of Ms. Magno from GMA7 regarding the concerns of the Honorable Representative Castello.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning to all the members and representatives of this committee. I'm Reggie Magna from GMA7. In our tapings before, we usually have ambulance on the set, but in the last meeting I also mentioned that it depends on what we will be taping for that day. And then we were also, it is also a requirement from DOLE that members of production undergo training ng first aid, which we complied to that. We had our members of the staff attend trainings conducted by DOLE. So you may even ask actors from the series that we have produced. We have ambulance on the set. If there's no ambulance, we have medics and we have first aiders. But then again, as I have explained, it's not all the taping days that we have the ambulance, but we have first aiders and medics on the set.
As you mentioned, Ms. Magno, that some of your staff are trained by DOLE for first aid. But, it's very apparent from the video that whoever attended the late Mr. Garcia does not know anything about first aid. So, sino po ba ang kausap niyo sa DOLE?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to correct myself. It's the training was conducted by Rez Cortez to comply with the requirement of DOLE. I apologize, Your Honor.
Because I don't know if DOLE has a program regarding first aid. Wala naman kayo, di po ba? Mambambi? Wala po. Maybe now proceed with the next the source person. Yes,
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just
Honorable Natural is recognized.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just like the film industry or the entertainment industry, I can say, and I empathize and sympathize with them. I can say that media industry is the most exploited workers in the country. Why? Because sabi ko nga, pareho lang halos kami na 24/7 nasa battlefield, halos hindi natutulog ang ating mga media workers. Kung makakapagsalita nga lang siguro ang mga cameraman dito na mga kasama natin sa hanap buhay, yung mga reporters, this is a very glamorous profession, I should say. Kasi nag-on-cam kami sa mga TV hosts, mga reporters, and even the mga film makers, itong mga nasa film industry natin, nakikita nila laging maganda sa TV, laging maganda sa pelikula, pero behind that, alam nating wala silang social benefits, wala silang overtime pay, wala silang insurance, no hazard pay. So, paano na kung may mga ganitong aksidente, Mr. Chairman? And my colleagues and also ng mga guests natin na andito. So, naranasan ko rin yung, sabi ko nga noon, di ba sa hearing natin, Mr. Chairman, yung 3 months contract, contractual yung ating mga kasamahan sa industriya. So nafe-feel ko rin kung ano nafe-feel nila. So, that's why, very emotional ako. Pareho kami ni Miss Aiza na marami na kongresista na nag-attempt na maipasa itong bill na to, pero up to now, wala pa rin. So, gusto ko talaga to because naranasan ko po kung paano maging kawawa sa industriya.
I started also from scratch. And that's why, sorry Mr. Chairman, for being so emotional. So sana po maipasa natin itong batas na ito. And I also suggest, Mr. Chairman, na we invite resource persons such as the following: Yusek Joel Eggo. He's the Presidential Task Force on Media Security. Yusek Joel Eggo, and of course, Presidential Commission's Operations Office, Assistant Secretary Christian Ablan, and also Secretary Martin Andenar of the PCOO. And kanina andito si Rolly Gonzalo, andito pa ba siya? Yung ating President ng National Press Club. Salamat sa kanilang support because it's really about time. Kumbaga, long overdue na nga ito, Mr. Chairman, na kailangan natin maipasa na itong bill na ito. And yung bill sa film industry, tsaka film sa media, which is the House Bill number 2476. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, the Honorable Nina Turan. At malapit na rin po akong maiyak. Dahil talagang I'm really touched. At hindi po to acting, totoo po to. Maraming salamat po. May we now proceed with the next invited guest, Mr. Siguion-Reyna, who is a director. Mr. Siguion-Reyna.
Your Honor, pasensya po, lumabas lang po siya para
Wala pa. Maybe now proceed now with Mr. Don Remo, who's also you're a director and writer, Mr. Remo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We would like to, can you share your insights regarding this House bill that are now being deliberated on?
So sir, first of all, everyone has to be candid about the whole thing. Naging concern na lang ang safety and health and whatever after Manoy Eddie Garcia died. Prior to that, sir, walang gaano. We have to be candid and honest about that fact, number one. Sir, and secondary, sir, I'm here also to remind the honorable congressmen to treat also child actors differently. Kasi sir, may anak po akong artista. Medyo
meron tayong batas siya sa DSWD sa one managing the affairs of child actors.
Also sir, medyo meron lang sir kasing issue na medyo knee-jerk reaction naman ng DOLE sa working hours ng mga bata. I am primarily concerned kasi nga yung anak ko ay isa sa mga artista sa GMA 7. Sir, naglabas ang DOLE ng direktiba na 4 na oras ang trabaho ng mga bata. Medyo OA naman yun, sir. To be fair to the networks, medyo OA naman yun, sir. Wala namang makukunan ng 4 na oras. Yun, sir, medyo mali. To the DOLE officials here, it was a
knee-jerk 4 hours from the time the child arrives?
Yes, from the time the child arrives on the set, 4 na oras lang, sir. Medyo mali naman. Kasi Rez and I have been coordinating with former NCR director ng DOLE, si Attorney Homilia. It was a knee-jerk reaction to my complaint in one of the days before, many years back. Tapos, naglabas sila ng direktiba ng 4 hours. Sir, in fairness naman sa mga director, sa mga production manager, sa mga tao, sa network o sa pelikula, sir, sobra naman yun. Wala namang makukunan sa bata ng 4 na oras kasi hindi naman pwedeng puro yung bata lang ang kukunan.
No, I think Director Remo, I beg to disagree. This child actors and actresses, they still have to attend school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
isipin mo, pumasok na yan sa eskwelahan, tapos magtatrabaho pa sa ginagawa niya sa...
Sir, with all due respect, sir,
Pero
naman,
kasi,
sir?
mas sa akin, paburo mo doon sa 4 hours na yan. It's just a matter of how you will comply. Meaning to say, pag pinapunta ninyo yung child actor, 30 minutes before yung shooting time niya. So, kasi kawawa naman po yung bata, nag-aaral na po siya, 8 hours na po siya nag-aaral, tapos magtatrabaho na po siya.
Hindi naman po, sir. Sir, pwede ituloy ko lang, sir. Kunyari, sir, Sabado, Linggo, wala namang pasok.
But ang estudyante, pagdating ng Sabado, nag-aaral pa din yan,
Correct, sir.
nag-review.
Sir, syempre, sir, as a parent, anak ko nga, sir, eh.
Opo,
So, I'm
sa akin po,
primarily...
dapat nga, pinupuntisyon naman yung anak mo eh.
Sir, tama po. Tama naman po.
Sa akin po ha, and I share the sentiments of that, you know, child actors and actors should not be exploited. So sa akin po, kung ano man yung directive po ng Dole, you know, I would support that.
Sir, alam niyo sir, ang naging
That is my own
consequence,
opinion, Mr. Remo.
sir, the consequence of limiting the
You know, Mr. Remo, you're out of line because our discussion here is not about the working conditions of pinag-usapan po natin dito is for everyone, di po ba?
Sir, hindi, pinapaalala ko lang sir na dapat may special consideration po yung mga bata.
That can be taken up in a different hearing, but at this point in time, pinag-usapan po natin what can you contribute to this bill for the safety and yung working conditions of our
Kaya nga po,
opo.
yung working conditions sir,
Opo.
i-consider din sir ang mga bata.
Oh, we will consider that. Kung ano man yung concerns ninyo, kung sino pahabaan, that is your opinion, you're entitled to it. But my own personal opinion, I will protect child access and limit the working hours. Bahala na po ang producer o yung network, how they can make it work. At this point in time, nasa batas po yan, Dole po ang kausap natin dito. At ako po, kung tatanungin nyo, hindi ko po bababago. Thank you po.
Okay sir.
May we now proceed with I think we have here the two lawyers of GMA 7 who conducted the in-house investigation. They were not present during the last committee hearing. So we would like to hear from them exactly how this investigation was conducted. Can we please, either or si Attorney Eduardo Santos or si Attorney Lynn Delfin will speak for on behalf of GMA 7.
Good morning,
Attorney Eduardo Santos. O si Lynn na lang. O sige, si Attorney Lynn Delfin. Before you proceed. Before we proceed, Attorney Delfin, may we ask you to rise so that you can take your oath, that you will, in this committee, that everything that you will say is nothing but to the truth.
Please raise your right hand and follow after me. I, do solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Please state your names and position and organization.
Thank you, Attorney. You may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning to the members of the committee and all the resource persons. I understand, Your Honor, that we're here to present or to explain how we did our investigation into the incident on June 8, 2019. Your Honor, after the incident happened, a committee was constituted by the management of GMA, comprising of myself, Attorney Ed Santos, the head of internal audit, Attorney Jerome Villaluna, head of our HRD, and Ms. Liza Diño, the head of our News and Public Affairs group. What we did, Your Honor, was to interview all the individuals pertinent or at least were involved during the production, the taping day of that day. We also viewed the videos that were taken by our production, and in addition to that, we likewise viewed the videos that were uploaded on the Facebook and other social media. For the production, I think it was explained during the committee hearing that production were not aware of what happened
they did not see because of the position of the camera. It was a close-up shot the time that Mr. Eddie Garcia fell. So the view of our camera was not focused on the way that he on his stride. And if you will notice, Mr. Chair, the video that was really represented came from a different angle. So that view was not seen by our production. So what,
Was that your camera?
no, Your Honor. No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, please proceed.
So what we did was, we looked at the video that was uploaded, and like was said earlier, initially the impression was that Mr. Eddie Garcia fell as he was stepped over cable. The impression was that the cause of the fall was him stepping over the cable wire connected to the camera. However, there was a separate video that was...
Excuse me. How many cameras were there during that day from GMA?
There were 3 cameras.
3 cameras, different angles. So, those 3 cameras, meron pa kayong footage doon nangyari?
Your Honor, if you can ask our production to explain how...
I mean, kaya nag-investiga, di ba?
Yes.
So, you should know kung meron kayo o wala.
Yes, we do have footage of the
So,
scene.
for the next committee hearing, can we request a copy? So that we
Yes,
can
we
compare.
can provide.
Thank you. You may proceed.
So, like I said, Mr. Chair, we were able to get a copy of the video that was uploaded, showing from a different angle, not videos taken by our cameras, because our cameras were taking.
Can you explain anong angle? Frontal ba? Sa likod?
Close-up. It was a close-up shot, Mr. Chair.
It was a close-up. So,
Because there was never.
sa hand din naman niyo po yung para nakita po natin dito for the benefit of our members here.
Yeah, we can
But can you just, yes, the honorable member is recognized.
May we know whether the result of the investigation was reduced to writing?
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's a written report.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of that written report with
Yes,
you?
yes, Your Honor. We actually, we can provide a copy to the committee, Your Honor.
Yes, we
But there-
requested that during the last committee hearing, Ms. Magno, do you have a copy right now that we can share here with our colleagues? We requested your company to provide us with the report because the last committee hearing was only Dole that presented the report.
Sir, Mr. Chair, if my recollection serves me right, if you ask a copy from Dole, the report that was submitted by JB, but if we are required to submit, we can provide you, sir, Your Honor.
Yes, for the benefit of the members here, we can provide us with a copy. But you don't have to wait for the next committee hearing. If you have the people that can send it to us today or tomorrow so that we can give them the copies. Thank you. You may proceed. Yes. Okay.
To whom was the report submitted?
We submitted it to the Department of Labor.
Did you submit to the management of the NSF?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. We also did submit our report. And such report was likewise submitted to the Department of Labor.
And what was the reaction or response of the management of GMA7 to your report?
The different production groups of GMA were required by management to come up with its own safety measures. In addition to what it has been observing at the time of the incident.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, the honorable Mendoza.
Yes, Mr. Chair. There's a report done by the GMA and usability to Dole. Is it correct?
That is correct.
And that report is now with Dole. Now may I ask therefore Dole, NCR, have you in receipt of that report from the GMA? And what did you, what are the actions taken
when you receive those investigation, supposedly, kasi importante, it's GMA, the source is also, let us say, I don't like to say bias, but I would like to say the veracity of that report. And then what are the actions that did you take after the receipt of the GMA's report and investigation?
After we received the report, Your Honor, we conducted a hearing.
And what is the result of the hearing? Diretso na tayo.
Opo, so we have findings based on the report. We have findings nga po na violations of OSH, and that is, I have mentioned before, Your Honor, at the last hearing, that the non-provision of first aider, and then the
this is the safety officers.
No safety officer.
No safety officers.
Opo, and
Okay,
no reporting of the accident
Yes.
within 24 hours, and those were the findings of DOLE, Your Honor.
Maybe you have the copy of that findings of the hearings,
Yes.
etc. And then your findings also stated that he did not click in the wire as a wire or uneven surface. Was there any ruling or any discussion in their hearings?
No, Your Honor, because we are only concerned with the OSH violations, Your Honor. And as to the cause of the tripping, it's no longer in our within our authority, Your Honor. We have no findings since we base our findings on the violations only, Your Honor. And we gave notice to the we called on the GMA to appear in our conference, Your Honor. And based on
Madam
that,
Director, I think that is very relevant considering it may be an immediate or approximate cause of what happened to Mr. Garcia. The mere fact that whether it's uneven or a wire that is very loose and not fastened, as stated in the safety, it's a safety issue, what I'm saying. So
Yes.
you did not pass judgment on that particular issue.
No,
So
Your-
you did not think na hindi siya relevant.
we don't, since we were not able to investigate and go to the work site, Your Honor, because at that time when the accident took place, it was not reported as an accident.
That may be a subject of further discussion later on. But
Yes.
what are your findings and were there violations, Madam Director?
Yes, as our findings, Your Honor, we go to the violations already, Your Honor, because we have it because this is also on appeal, Your Honor, and it's already forwarded to the Office of the Secretary.
So what are your findings? And it's on appeal. Let me make sure that it's on appeal. Of course, it's on appeal. So what are your findings? What are the violations?
The violations, Your Honor, is as I've said before, there was since based on the submission of report and also as to the footages, the violations that we see that there was no safety officer and that there was no first aider, and of course the GMA, the respondents and its contractors did not report of the accident.
Which was required to be reported within 24 hours. Before we proceed, let me welcome to other members of present, our Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Christopher de Venecia, another former child actor and now is into theater. Where are you? And the Honorable Mariano Hernandez, Secretary of Laguna, also a member of this committee. Director Papi, ang nag-conduct po ng investigation sa inyo is the OSHC.
The OSHC, the BWC.
Sino po ang nag-conduct sa OSHC? Is he present here?
Director Vinab was present when we called for a meeting.
No, but who really investigated the incident as far as DOL is concerned?
It is the mandate, it is the DOLE NCR, Your Honor, and as regards BWC, the extent and
Sino po nakipag-coordinate sa DND7?
our office, Your Honor.
So you didn't assign anyone from your office?
Yeah, we assigned it to our an inspector first to our LR, the legal unit also when we referred to the case, Your Honor. But we initially conducted it as per the instruction of the Secretary for the OSHC, the WC, as well as the law and CR to conduct an investigation.
Thank you. Can we, proceed with the, sandali lang, Mr. Cortez, we would like to proceed first with the way that the investigation was conducted by the TMA7. Attorney Delphine, you have the floor again.
Thank you, sir. So like I mentioned, we viewed the video footage that was taken by our production, as well as the video that was uploaded by somebody on Facebook. And we conducted investigation. We interviewed several key production personnel. Of course, Director Total Natividad, the executive producer, the program manager, the junior associate producer, APs, and the stunt director, stunt director, and then flight instructor as well. As well as the other officers of our entertainment, just to get an idea of how production works. And specifically what happened.
Sino po ba ang nag-respond po agad? Based on the last committee hearing, we were informed na tatlong stuntmen yung nag-respond immediately to look into the situation of the late Maloy.
There were actually several people were on the set. We rushed to the side of Mr. Eddie Garcia. One of them,
Hindi mo aware kung sino po sila?
Mr. Van, the flight instructor was there, as well as the driver of and then the stuntman who helped carry Mr. Eddie Garcia from where he fell to the which drove him to the hospital.
Those that were responded, like you said, the Baligdesas, the other stuntmen, are they trained to provide first aid?
To our knowledge, no.
Wala po. So, as was mentioned before, during the meeting hearing last week, we had the DMA network had no safety officer present during that day. There was no medical personnel, and likewise the ambulance should be on standby. Are you, is this the standard operating procedure po ng GMA7 sa mga ganitong should na wala po tayong pinoprovide ng mga medical personnel?
May I qualify, Your Honor? GMA had a safety officer. In fact, they had several safety officers. Unfortunately, on the day itself, on the set, there was no such safety officer. We did have 3 first aiders. They were certified by the Red Cross and because they have undergone basic training.
Sino po itong mga na-certified po ito ng Red Cross? Comsec, can you please take note of the names and we can ask for their numbers so that we can call them for our next committee hearing? Are they here? They are present. Nasaan po sila?
Your Honor, only one is here.
One who immediately responded when the Liban fell.
She was present. She was on the set when that happened, Your Honor.
Isa ba siya sa mga nag-responde kagad?
No, Your Honor.
Nandun doon siya pero hindi siya nag-responde. Bakit po? Kasi siya po ang na-train na para mag-ano. Can we, sino po ba siya? Can we ask her to come forward? And Comsec, can you ask her to take her oath? And likewise for her to state her name and her profession. Comsec?
Raise your right hand and follow after me. I state your name.
Monica Zafra.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
to tell the truth
to tell the truth
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
For the record, can you please state your name again and your position with GMA 7?
My name is Monica Zafra. I am the junior associate producer.
So when you say the senior associate producer, can you just tell us briefly what's your
Junior,
job?
sir.
Junior. So what exactly do you do?
I usually on the side of the executive producer.
Anyway, you were one of those that were trained by the Red Cross to provide first aid.
I attended the training.
How many days po yung training na yan?
Sorry.
How many days is the training?
1 day.
1 day. Meron pa ba? Ano po natutunan niyo po doon?
The CPR.
CPR. What else?
Yung sa pag na-choke po.
Yung mga ganon. Pero did they train you in so far, let's say somebody had an accident, let's say they fell, they tripped, what needs to be done, what cannot be done, or
I can remember now.
wala ka naalala?
Sir Favor, pwedeng makipatong sandali.
Binigyan po ba kayo ng certificate ng Red Cross?
Wala. Certificate siya. Certificate siya.
Pero may represent natin po sa next committee hearing yung certificate niyo. If you can recall kung sino po yung nag-conduct ng training po from Red Cross so that we know exactly what kind of training they provide, if it's adequate or not.
Hindi pwedeng isang araw lang.
Yes, Your Honor.
So anyway, during that incident, nasa po kayo?
I was beside with my executive producer.
So you did not approach the late Mr. Garcia when he tripped and fell?
Lumapit lang po ako doon nung nakita ko pong nahulog na siya.
Oh, pero so hindi niyo po nagamit yung natutunan niyo po sa Red Cross?
Kasi po, pag ganong insidente po, hindi po yun kasi dapat ginagalaw.
So, nagsalita ka ba dun sa mga taong nag-responde na nilang galawin si Manuel?
At that moment, nagtatawag po ako ng pwedeng mag-respond.
Pero wala akong sinabi dun sa mga taong paligid na huwag niyo pong galawin si Mr. Garcia, pabayaan po siya dyan. Antayin po natin ang mga medical personnel,
Ang sinabi ko lang po, huwag nilang panikiran si Mr. Eddie para hindi po lalong kasi ang dami pong tao that time nakapalibot po sa kanya para po makahinga siya.
So, that time ba, when you saw the late actor Eddie Garcia, were you concerned already that he suffered a serious injury?
Ang natatandaan ko po, may dugo lang po siya sa ulo.
May dugo?
Opo, meron.
So talagang medyo malakas yung pagkakauntog?
Wala po ako na mismong nauntog siya. Nakita ko na lang po nung lumapit siya, nasa sahig na siya.
Pero nakita mo po si Mr. El Garcia lying already?
Yes.
On the floor?
Yes.
Nagsasalita po ba siya noon?
Wala siyang ginawa.
Nakakausap po ba siya?
Ang naalala ko lang po, marami na pong tao sa paligid niya tapos nag-o-offer ng help. Tapos ang instructions ko lang po, huwag nilang palibutan si Mr. Ed. Tapos nagtatawag na po ako ng tao.
Pero hindi mo sinabi na huwag nilang galawin?
Wala po akong instructions na gano'n.
Oo. Gaya na sabi niyo po, itong ganong pag-responde po, hindi ko tinuro sa inyo na Red Cross na pagka mayroong nadapa, tumakay puno na bago na huwag po natin galawin.
Wala po, Your Honor.
Oo. So, can we request the name of that Red Cross personnel that handled your training? And if you can present this committee even a copy lang of your certificate.
Okay, Your Honor.
Mr. Seguerra, do you have something to say to that effect?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kasi po, I'm also part of a rescue group, and obviously nag-undergo po kami ng training din for rescue, and we do rescues sa baha, sa sakuna. And being part of this po, and of course, I was also chair of the National Youth Commission a few years back. And sa narinig ko lang po, no, Mr. Chair, obviously the training wasn't adequate. Kasi po, kahit po seasoned rescuers and responders po, hindi po pwedeng one-time, big-time training lang po yan, Mr. Chair. Kasi, syempre, I think it needs some kind of a muscle memory that when it happens, alam mo yun, hindi ka na magpapanik. And obviously, with the very inadequate training, nakakatakot po na nabibigyan ko ng certificate ng ang alam mo lamang ay CPR at Heimlich maneuver na pagkatapos na wala ka ng subsequent trainings. Well, in fact, yun, napaka-importante po. Actually, kagaya po nung nangyari kay Mr. Eddie Garcia, siguro po, kung may alam po, at least isa sa kanila na medyo may training ng pagiging first responder. Sa amin po kasi, kunyari po may nangyaring ganyan, wala ka talagang, importante po kasi na ang neck po area natin ay maging ma-fasten siya na maayos, hindi po magalaw. Actually, ang simpleng sombrero po at alagyan niyo po ng masking tape, tapos ilagay niyo po siya sa isang board na straight. Adequate po yun na magkaroon ng protection kahit papano at hindi po siya magalaw. So those are things that malalaman po if you have training. But unfortunately, siguro po, siguro nangyayari just to follow certain siguro dole requirements para lang for the certificate, masabing ng training, pero hindi po talaga de kalidad yung training.
Thank you, Mr. Seguerra. Can I, so first safe responder. Sino po ang nagsabi na kailangan na pong dalhin si Mr. Garcia po sa ospital?
Kasi po nung nangyayari po yung naghahanap po ako ng ambulance eh. Nagtatawag po ako ng tao.
May nahanap po kayo?
Ang tinawagan ko po una yung LM. Meron po silang mabibigay, kaya lang matraffic po kasi that time.
Nasa ano ba yung location shoot niya?
Nasa Britas Tondo po.
Ako? Sa Tondo? So, sino po ang nagpasya na kailangan na pong dalhin si Mr. Garcia po sa ospital?
Wala po akong idea kung sino po nagsasabi.
Sino po ba ang nag-upo kay Mr. Garcia doon sa monoblock?
Hindi rin po ako aware.
Can I ask Attorney Delphine? Ay, kasi kayo po nag-imbestigan.
Your Honor, nobody gave the direction specifically from production to put Mr. Garcia on the chair. It appeared that a lot of people were so confused and panicked over what happened that they just thought it would be the best way to bring him faster to a vehicle to bring him to the hospital.
Ano ba yung nakalagay sa ulo po niya? Band-aid, ano ba yun? Band-aids po ba yun? O tela lang po yun na nilagay po sa ulo para hindi na dumanak po yung dugo?
So it seemed to be just a towel. It was prepared.
Tuwalya lang po. Sino po yung humahawak po ng tuwalya na doon sa video? Kilala niyo po ba yan?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
Hindi po. Kala ko po na-review niyo po yung video footage.
Yes, Your Honor. What we did was to look at exactly how we felt. That was our
Pero
focus
yung
of our
mga tao po na nag-responde, hindi niyo po inalaw kung sino po sila yun.
We did talk to them, Your Honor. We were told that it was the driver.
So, kilala niyo po yung mga nag-responde.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kilala niyo rin po siguro kung sino yung mga nagbuhat.
Not all, Your Honor.
Pero makikita mo sa film footage, makikilala niyo po. And we can ask or inquire kung sino po itong mga tao to.
The production, Your Honor, would be able to identify exactly who, but then given what happened, it was really difficult to identify. Especially, Your Honor, like I mentioned, what we focused on was the video showing Mr. Garcia as he fell. The first video as taken by Mr. Mako, who uploaded it on his YouTube account, Facebook account, and another video that was taken by another uploader.
Sino po nag-decision na dalhin po siya sa Mary Johnston? Is there another hospital that is close
Yes,
to
Your Honor,
Mary Johnston?
From what we understand, production heard that somebody mentioned that the nearest hospital from that area is Mary Johnson Hospital. That's why they went to that particular hospital, Your Honor.
Ano po nangyari nung dinala po si Mr. Garcia po sa sa emergency room po ng Mary Johnston?
Hindi na alam.
Attorney?
Yeah. He was brought to the ICU, Your Honor.
Opo.
Emergency room, and then he was transferred to the ICU. But then, Your Honor, nobody from production was allowed anymore. Since
Sino
we were
po
not
yung alam niyo po ba kung sino po yung mga nag-responde sa emergency room kaya who provided the medical treatment immediately?
Unfortunately, not, Your Honor.
Pag nag-imbestiga po ba kayo, hindi kayo direktor, abogado mo naman kayo.
We did investigate, Your Honor, what happened during
Pero
the
dapat kasi Attorney Delphine, o man yan, aalamin ko kung sino yung nag-responde kaagad sa Mary Johnston, di ba? At aalamin ninyo po kung ano talaga ang actual na kondisyon po ni Mr. Garcia during the time that he was brought to the emergency room. So dapat po yan, you should be very diligent, abogado man hindi kayo. So, ang tanong ko, hindi nyo pa kinuha yung pangalan ng mga staff and personnel, ng mga doctors and nurses that attended to Mr. Garcia nung nasa Mary Johnson Hospital po siya?
No, Your Honor.
I'm really disappointed, kasi dapat kung mga ganito, may mga detalye ganito, dapat nalalaman ninyo eh. Kaya pa naman po nag-imbestiga, if you're really concerned to find out about the truth, what happened, dapat ng mga ganitong bagay ito, alam niyo, bakit po natin kung sino po yung mga tao, so dapat po yan, in-interview ninyo, kinausap ninyo, at kinalaman ninyo talaga kung anong sitwasyon. Ano po bang ginawa ng investigasyon? Sa telepono lang po ba?
No, Your Honor. We interviewed people who were there at the time of the production.
So, ito sa hospital po.
Your Honor, when our production people went to the hospital, who accompanied Mr. Garcia, we tried to get to talk to the doctor, but since we are not a family member, we're not family, we could not insist on getting information regarding Mr. Garcia's condition.
Or the nurses, hindi naman lang pagkakain. Sasabihin po lang kung sino po sila. Especially knowing that yung kanilang pasyente is one of the pillars of the movie and entertainment industry. So for them, it would be an honor to be there to respond immediately and do whatever they can to ensure that the late actor would survive. So yun lang po ang inaano ko. Bakit po hindi natin nalaman kung sino po yung mga nag-responde, kung kayo po yung nag-imbestiga? Kasi sa akin po, very critical, very crucial po yan, especially when you do your report, na nakausap ko po first hand yung doktor. And nalaman yung first hand from the doctor kung ano po ang nangyari at ano po kondisyon po ng ating late actor Eddie Garcia. Yun lang po ang sinasabi ko. Bakit hindi po natin alam kung sino po yung mga tao na yun? I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, I'm just speaking out of, common sense po na dapat po yan, pag nagtanong po tayo, kung talaga po concerned kayo dun sa tao, dapat po yan, inalam ninyo, kinakusap ninyo, o kung sino man yung taong staff ninyo na nandun po sa hospital, kinausap ninyo, inusisa ninyo kung ano talaga nangyari kay Manoy. Pero the way I see it, parang in the way you conducted the investigation, it was done haphazardly. It was not very thorough. Ang hinahanap po natin dito, how thorough is your investigation? Dapat kumpleto po kayo lahat ng detalya. Yun po hindi ko maintindihan. Ba't wala po kayong detalya pagdating po dito? Anyway, pagkatapos po sa Mary Johnston, saan po tumuloy? Sama natin din nila si Mr. Garcia.
he was brought to Makati Medical Hospital.
Sino po ang nag-decision para dalhin po si Mr. Garcia sa Makati Medical po?
Your Honor, this is no longer part of the investigation, but I understand it was the family who decided to bring Mr. Garcia.
No, but that should be part of your investigation. Ay, nag-iimbestiga ka para malaman mo lang nangyari.
Yes, Your Honor. What we
So
tried
don't
to...
tell me it's not part of the investigation. It should be part of your investigation kasi you should be concerned, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. I was just trying to explain that the focus of our investigation was to determine what our people did at the time of the incident, where it happened.
So you're not concerned kung anong pinamatay niya?
That's not true, Your Honor.
You're not concerned kung anong condition of health niya?
That's not true, Your Honor. Our officers and personnel from the
So you should
entertainment
not tell
group
me
was
it's not your
present at the
concern.
hospital,
It
Your
should
Honor.
be a concern.
Yes, Your Honor, it was our concern, Your Honor, which is precisely why our personnel, managers, and officers of the entertainment group
Oh,
were
this
there
is
to
not
hospital.
a statement where it's not your concern. Parang wala
No,
kang
Your Honor,
pakialam.
I was
Ha?
saying that the primary concern of our investigation at the time was focused on what we were doing, what our staff were doing, or did not do.
So
after
ano
the
na ang
incident.
investigasyon ninyo? Hindi na kayo concern kung ano nangyari katapos.
Yes, Your Honor, we are concerned, Your Honor. We were
Oo.
concerned
So
about
kung
it.
dinala na po sa mga medical, nagpadala po ba kayo ng tao doon?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, can you give us exactly what happened po sa Makati Medical po?
Your Honor, like I mentioned, our investigation was not focused on that. If I may ask the person who were present at the hospital to give more details about that, Your Honor.
Is that person present here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Magro, sino po ba yun?
Your Honor, I went at the, when I heard that Sir Eddie Garcia was brought to the hospital, I went to the hospital together with our admin manager so that the admin manager can go to the accounting and advise them that we will settle the hospital bills. Your Honor.
But ang concern po dito po yung sino yung mag-settle po. Ang concern ko po dito, or concern ko ng committee na to, is were you on top of what is happening in so far as exactly what is the condition of the late actor? Were you aware? Did you talk to the doctors?
Your Honor, if I may, when I went to the hospital, at first we even asked permission from somebody from the family if we can go and visit. Because we heard Miss Lilibeth doesn't want to see anyone from GMA. So we respected that, Your Honor, because we know how she felt that time. And then we again asked somebody from their family if we can go visit. And then Mrs. Romero responded to that person and said, yes, they may visit. And so we visited. And then when I went to the hospital, I went directly to Miss Lilibeth. I embraced her. We were both crying, and then I told her if I can see Mr. Garcia. And then she said, okay, and then she brought us inside. So she just told us that nothing, not in so many words, but she said that it's not clear what will happen to Mr. Garcia. He's still holding on. So we were all praying, we were all hopeful that he will be able to recover. And Ms. Romero and the family also, we also met with them in those days when they were in the hospital. So we talked to the family. But with regard to the details on his condition, we don't exactly know because I think the family did not tell us exactly his condition, except that he's still in ICU and no definite status as to whether he will improve or not. But we were in constant communication with their friend as well, Ms. Vilma Orteza. We were always asking the condition of Mr. Garcia, and we also talked to the family.
Thank you. Before we proceed, we would like to welcome another pillar of the industry and now Deputy Speaker